Welcome to the Waiver Wire. Waiver Wire. Waiver Wire. Waiver Wire. Waiver Wire. Waiver. And what up? Welcome to the Waiver Wire, where fantasy players become fantasy legends. Fuck football.
Football's stupid, man. What the fuck?
Well, yeah, I mean, fantasy-wise, I am wrong. And if anything, you watch this show to say, just listen to what he says, do the fucking opposite, run the other way, because he has gotten it wrong. Even with Justin Herbert, he is not.
You got Najee right, bro. You got one.
Yeah,
you got
right.
one thing right.
I know, I've been screaming. The Turkish guy keeps screaming at me that he's like, you don't understand. You screwed yourself up with Najee. I'm like, bro. His argument is that he doesn't win me any weeks because he doesn't score 40 points. I'm like, listen, consistency. That's the reason why Najee's ranked number 4 amongst all running backs right now is because total points. Right. If I could have all my players score 20 points, I'm golden. But I can't.
You can pen him in for 20.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's perfect.
He's perfect. And he's going to go top 5 next year.
He is right. Like, so you do want, and that's kind of what I went after, was I was going for guys that could win me weeks, like Josh Allen, like these 50, 30, 40 points. But honestly, that hasn't happened that much.
Well, and I thought Robert Woods, Chase Claypool, fucking Josh Jacobs. I thought I was getting other people that were going to do that for me, and I was just wrong. I was wrong. All those guys.
Well, it really was. If you had just decided on Cooper Kupp instead of Robert Woods, that would have been your guy.
Or had been smart enough to know Debo Samuel was going to be a baller,
or maybe not gone Josh Jacobs and gotten a wide receiver. I
also did Clyde Edwards-Helaire with my second pick. I thought he was going to be a big year this year, and there was just a lot of things, but Najee was not wrong.
Right? No, Najee was the one that you got right,
and
he was worthy of that pick. You know, like he was not.
Maybe it fucked me up too. Maybe like I was drunk on
you were
like,
3, right?
Yeah, it was the third pick, and I had just done Najee Harris and felt like a crazy person. That was like, you know what? Let's get real crazy. No, I say that I picked a lot of those guys out before the season. I really thought Robert Woods, Chase Claypool, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Robert Tonyan. I think I drafted him a little higher than I thought because I thought Green Bay, they're just Devontae Adams. He's gonna need another
target.
Red
zone target.
Yeah. There was a lot. I dropped James Conner.
You dropped James
who
Conner,
has the most touchdowns amongst running backs.
I think in the whole league.
Good in the whole league.
Yeah, I think nobody scored more touchdowns.
I dropped Mike Gesicki,
and he's
who is
probably
now
like
the
tight
fourth,
end 3 or 4.
Yeah, the 4th ranked tight end.
My fucking boy Hawkinson has just disappeared.
Yeah, wow, his 0 this last week. 0. Well, the Detroit just that game, Detroit and Pittsburgh was absolutely fucking garbage. But so we've been talking about how it's so football heavy here. But what the fuck else are we gonna talk about?
Right, we don't know what else to talk about.
I mean, if there's news going on out there, sorry, I don't watch it. I have
other topics that we could talk about, but we probably just don't want to.
Yeah, maybe not. We'll deep dive into whatever we want here. Okay. Odell. That was something that happened this week.
Yeah. I honestly,
I know.
Good timing for the Rams.
Good noise. That's the noise that you got to make to Odell.
Yeah.
Because he's not. This isn't gonna. It's not gonna happen. He's not that same Odell. He's not. Doesn't have the same separation.
Yeah.
I mean, listen. They lost. Hey, Robert Woods. By the way, if I drop somebody, go pick him up. Jacoby Myers scored his first career touchdown this week. And he's like, he knew.
Good job.
I dropped Hunter Henry, 2 touchdowns this week. If I drop somebody, you go grab you went and grabbed Devin Singletary. It'll happen. He's gonna.
Well, I was actually gonna drop Devin Singletary and pick up Stevenson, and I was like, it was Sunday morning, and I have this rule about You ever watch the fucking League?
No,
it's a show about fantasy football.
No.
And one of the guys, he called it a stinker tinker because every Sunday morning he'd be taking a shit and he would fuck with his team. and it would always be bad. Like you'd always. So I was like, I'm not doing it, but I should have.
I fuck with my team way too much, and I feel the burn.
I love
right
Singletary
now.
in there because they were playing the Jets and the fucking.
Well, you also I looked at your team. I mean, when Chubb went out, you were in a running back situation.
Well, I needed a running back because Kamara went out.
Right, okay.
Because I have Dearness Johnson, so Chubb wasn't that big of a deal. But then once Kamara didn't play, I was like, fuck, I needed a running back.
Yeah.
I didn't have one.
Gotcha.
And so I went out and I picked up, what's his name? Singletary.
Yeah.
And then on Sunday when they said that Harris wasn't playing and that Stevenson was, that's what it was. Harris was out, but then Stevenson got cleared from concussion protocol and he would be their lead back. I was like, well, fuck, I should probably go pick him up. But then I talked myself out of it because then Zach Moss was also playing for the Bills, and so. And apparently Breida's running for the Bills.
Man, he went off.
Yeah,
he went off, and they were using him. Right. I don't know if it was that they were up big and
which
it
is
didn't
just
matter.
weird. Then all of a sudden I got 3 motherfuckers, and
well, yeah, but I almost wonder if it's that Zach Moss is a little injured.
Well, he was coming off concussion protocol.
Maybe they were like, hey, we're
right.
up.
Maybe
this game's over already. Like we can go ahead and just take him out. But Breida looked good. He's one that I probably should have put on there as an interesting one to pick up. Maybe if you're looking.
I'd be super
you'd be
nervous
about it.
starting him.
But Odell and the Rams.
But I don't know.
I don't even know. Did he play last night?
He played, but he wasn't being. Obviously, he only had one practice,
right.
So they probably had like a 10 play.
Well, the Rams looked like dog shit last night, and I don't know what that's to. But I mean, I know I saw Von Miller out there, and
the little bit that I got to watch. Fucking San Francisco's defense, like they couldn't block them. They were in the backfield, like fucking.
I saw Nick Bosa on at least 2 sacks.
Many plays blowing them up on that left side.
Yeah, it was an interesting game last night. But another weird week. MyBookie.com called and they were like, "Listen, this shit's got to get better.
It's getting out of hand.
You can't get 4 out of the 14 right. You can't get 10 games wrong."
When I'm making these picks, I'm picking purely against the spread.
Okay.
Right. I think that you're picking.
I'm picking.
You're doing it both ways, aren't you?
A little bit. I mean, I'm picking with my heart, where I feel like this is what's going to happen this week, and then sometimes I'm picking because I think the number's too big.
Because then you have the ones that you got right, but that's just who won the game, and then you have the ones that you got right, but you didn't get the spread right. So in my opinion, you'd have got those wrong. But then things like, I don't know, then you have other ones that they cover the spread, and you don't count those. So I think you need to pick against the spread, or
that where I covered the spread on any of these, because a lot of these were blowouts.
That before,
yeah, it's true. Either way, the NFL is fucking weird this year. I mean, starting off with that Thursday night game, Miami and Baltimore. I mean,
and Miami's looked like shit.
Yeah, Miami's looked terrible. Baltimore's looked good, and that game was the total opposite. Baltimore looked like shit. They couldn't catch to save their lives.
Just goes to show the human element of all these things. Like, maybe Baltimore took it too lightly. Maybe they partied a little bit harder this week and, you know, just didn't think that they could win it, or didn't think that they were going to have that big of a problem.
But Rashad Bateman is an interesting one. He's the rookie on Baltimore, and he didn't have a great week, but it seems like he's getting targets, and he's kind of, it takes time with, and this is especially only like his second game, I think. Oh, really? Or third game or something like that, because he was hurt for the first part of the season, and now he's finally playing. So Bateman's an interesting one. He's probably out there in a lot of your waiver wires. I don't know, though, because Baltimore did not look very good. And Miami's not a good team. So whatever we saw out of Miami just now is not because it's like, oh, yeah, Miami's a legit team. No, they're not. They're not good. And all they have really is Jalen Waddle, who has been consistent. He's not a bad slot receiver for him, but they don't have a big receiver to take it over the top.
Yeah. I got Gesicki.
But he put up a 0 in this game.
Yeah, he missed, but he got targeted like 7 or 8 times.
Yeah, and dropped a lot of them. Yeah,
yeah. But my strategy worked. I got that one right.
Yeah, yeah. You went against, and you were right in this one. Miami won 22-10. Baltimore.
Yeah, Jackson had a
It's
bad
another
game.
one of those AFC teams that I just can't, like Cleveland, Baltimore, like Cincinnati. That whole division.
Yeah.
Can't figure it out. I can't figure out who's going to win, who's
Right.
good, who's bad.
The Chargers.
Very strange. Yeah, the Chargers, are they good?
The Raiders.
Vegas Raiders lost bad. It was
Kansas City, are they any good? Like, what the fuck?
Kansas City. Well, we'll get to that. Kansas City kind of woke up. Kansas City kind of made me go, okay, all right. If
Buffalo.
Yeah. Buffalo beat the fuck out of the Jets, though. That was good. That was good. That was one of those games where it's like, this is what we
New
got to beat the
England,
Jets,
like, what the fuck? New England's good.
I think New England's good. Hey, we're getting ahead of ourselves here.
Well, you started talking about these weird
We-
AFC teams that we don't understand.
We're talking about the broad scheme here. Baltimore, though, I don't know if there's anybody else that I pick
just
up.
next. Then they're gonna destroy Chicago next
Right,
week because
yeah,
they had such
probably.
a fuck. Now they're gonna wake up. Harbaugh's
Yeah.
gonna
They
fucking
gotta
yell
get
at
this
them.
win, yeah.
It'll probably be 45 to
Right.
13.
Yeah.
Next week.
Yeah, so, some Ravens to pick up is not a bad idea because I agree with him. I think they're going to beat the fuck out of the Bears just because of what happened to them.
Right.
Now it's like
Yeah.
they've got a longer week.
They
They've
took
had
the
more
Miami
time to practice.
serious.
Yeah, exactly.
Or didn't take them serious.
Right, didn't take them serious, yeah. Speaking of not taking them serious, the Atlanta Falcons
Jesus
made a
Christ.
trip to Dallas just to see the Jerry World and
This also worked out for me because I didn't like those 9 points, and so I went with Dallas, and so I'm 2 for 2 on my,
nice,
my
yeah.
strategy.
I got that one right. I said Dallas. It wasn't even
beatdown.
fucking close. This is where you start going like when Tom Brady has a bad game, it doesn't bother me because I know who Tom Brady is. He goes, he works at it. He's going to come back stronger and harder. Matt Ryan, Ben Roethlisberger. There's a couple of guys in the league where I'm like, is this it? Like,
Yeah.
what's the point even? Like, if you're
Where they
Matt
look
Ryan,
old.
yeah, he just kind of looks like you've been doing this for a long time now. And even Stafford last night, I said the same thing about him. It's like Stafford's been in the league for a long time. Like, we
See
forget
that last play where he could have ran into the ends? I was like, just run.
Yeah.
And he like hesitated and then didn't. And
because he's been lit up over his career.
I'm not saying he
You know?
should have. I won the points. I had him and I lost by like 0.5.
Not in our league.
No, in the other one.
the other one?
Because
Oh, wow.
Vance Jefferson dropped that fucking touchdown.
Oh, fuck. Not a whole point, just 0.5.
Literally, it was 10. I had 109.3
man.
something, and he had 109.9.
Slipped my wrist down the road, not across the
Now I'm
street.
like
I need to
4
die. Oh,
4
that's
and
terrible.
6 in that league.
Oh. Hey, it's not 1-9. Woo! 1-9, baby.
1-9. And you won week 3, right? And that was the start of
Who
your
the
comeback.
fuck knows? Who the fuck knows? It is over. I'm sitting Justin Herbert. I don't even care. I mean, it doesn't matter. I've just broken up with him. I'm over him being so inconsistent.
Yeah.
The Chargers themselves are too inconsistent. I just can't. I've got Derek Carr as my other option. Who gives a fuck, right? 1-9. I'm just, my team's name is Let Me Know Who Wins the Money. I'm a glorified accountant
At
for
least
this
you're
fantasy
setting your
football
lineup.
league. Yeah, exactly. Which one of them, we'll get to that. One of these motherfuckers in the league didn't set their lineup at all, and it was very annoying. You're giving away free wins. Wish I could have had one of those. Wish I could have played him this week and won with 80 points.
Why
but
did he do that? Is he
it looks
just
like
done?
he just didn't pay
quit.
attention and just
'Cause he doesn't work with you?
yeah, he does.
okay.
I actually didn't get to ask him because I haven't seen him since then to say like, bro, what the fuck? Why, you had people on a bye. You started Chase Edmonds. Like, what the fuck is going on? But I mean,
He's still in it. That's
I
cool.
also think that it's weird that you would pay money to join a league like this and then not be like, you know what? Like, I'm just going to check it every now and then. Like you said, like when I'm taking a shit, like that's my main, like I'm just going to go on
I
and
got
just
to make
look
sure I
and-
could get my lineup set.
Yeah. Michael Gallup came back in this Dallas
how'd he
game.
play? I didn't
He
watch.
did all right. I think got like 8 points, something like that.
That should make their offense better.
Yeah,
because they'll roll out those
yeah,
3
they have
wide
more
receiver
receivers
sets.
to spread shit out. It made Zeke's game a little better. Honestly, all of Dallas, they killed it.
That's good. I
Trayvon
would
Diggs,
imagine
he
that
got
Dak's
another.
probably feeling much better
Yeah.
coming off that calf strain.
Yeah.
And
But
Atlanta's
Atlanta's
not
a
that
doo-doo
good.
team,
Yeah,
so you got
Atlanta's
to
not
take it for
good.
what it is here. They got Kansas City this week, and that's a tough test, but we'll get to that tomorrow. Then Atlanta, I mean, you got to be scared of everybody on that Atlanta team.
Start Cardale Patterson. I mean, he seems to be the only one.
Still got points, too. That son of a bitch.
That's the one thing. That's my biggest regret.
Atlanta might also, they're scheduled. They were showing that on the Red Zone. Their schedule coming up is tough. They've got Tampa again. They've got New England this week on Thursday. So they could run into a couple of losses here. Yeah. I would be scared of starting any Falcons other than fucking Cordell fucking Patterson. God damn it. But Dallas beat the fuck out of Atlanta. New Orleans went to Tennessee. This was actually a really good game. They went to this one.
New Orleans is better than I thought.
But Tennessee,
they have a good defense.
Tennessee, yeah. 8-2.
And,
Tennessee,
our old ex-Texan,
Vrabel,
no Foreman, the running back.
Deontay Foreman,
seems to be.
I have him on there. He's
emerging as their lead back.
Does that say Freeman or Foreman?
Freeman. It's Freeman. Oh no, it's Foreman. Yeah, Devontae.
It's Foreman. It says Freeman on there, but it's wrong. It's Foreman. Deontay Foreman.
Yeah.
Is it? Who the fuck knows? This one. Hey, look this up. But
where's that guy?
Tennessee. Wow. No Derrick Henry. I thought they were about to have some losses. I thought that Tennessee was about to kind of go on a skid, but their defense is good.
Deontay Foreman.
And their defense is good, and they're well coached. Yeah. Vrabel's a good coach.
Vrabel is a good coach,
and he knows what he's doing. I
also got this one right. Because of my strategy. Well, and I'm picking against the spread. So I took New Orleans, but they covered the spread.
They covered the spread, yeah. Yeah, I picked Tennessee, which they did not cover the spread, but I guess they won. So in a way, I'm right, and in the bragging rights.
But yeah, A.J. Brown's good. I saw Julio went on the IR.
Yeah, and that's disappointing. He hasn't been doing
shit anyways.
Yeah, and
you could probably drop Julio.
That's kind of crazy because I thought that was one of the biggest, trades or changes this year. Yeah. I thought, wow,
it's gonna make them
to have Derrick Henry and two badass receivers, this is gonna be tough. But Julio really has been a non-factor for them, but they're getting it done. They're getting it done with people like Deontay Foreman and McNichols and Adrian Peterson.
This says a lot for their offensive line and stuff like that, for sure.
Now, on the flip side of this coin, Trevor Simeon. Nah, he ain't it.
I'm wondering why Taysom Hill's not getting more.
Well, they bring him in there every now and then, and he runs his wildcat plays.
Yeah, his role stays the same.
But I'm with you. If I'm Sean Payton, and this is the guy, I mean,
that's what he wanted.
Yeah, I thought there was a quarterback competition
to see who was going to be the starting quarterback. Simeon wasn't part of that conversation.
I agree.
What the fuck?
Seems weird.
I just don't understand why we aren't seeing it.
Maybe there's something going on behind the scenes that we don't know.
Well, you got to imagine that Sean Payton knows more than we do about this. And
no, I can't. No, I can't. I can't give him that. I know everything. I mean, look at my 1-9. I mean, I should be the GM of all the teams. Give me Jacksonville right now. I'll fix you, baby.
Yeah, I can fix it.
Yeah. No, but I don't know I don't know. And listen, this was a close game.
Yeah.
They were a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up and us going into overtime.
Right.
They dropped it right there at the very end.
And Tennessee is, at this point in the season, got to be considered one of the best teams in the league.
The AFC, they're the top.
New Orleans hanging out with them.
Yeah. I think New Orleans is still Kamara in the shitty NFC. It's basically you have the good teams, the 5 good teams, which are the Rams a part of that anymore? I don't know. But they, you have those 5 good teams, and then those last 2 teams on the NFC, they could be
anybody.
They could be losing records.
Yeah, I was gonna say, they could be losing records.
I put Deontay Harris on there because he's been more consistent as of late for the Saints. I don't know if maybe they're targeting him more because of no Jameis or just.
And there was the Agnew kid. Did you see him?
Yeah, Jamal Agnew.
I picked him up.
He scored on a 60-yard touchdown.
Yeah, it looks more.
So it's gonna kind of spike because of that.
He had a 66-yard touchdown.
Yeah. So
But the weird thing was they got 3 or 4 carries too.
Actually, and he's their return guy, and he in the past has actually returned a few touchdowns.
Well, the reason I picked him up is because the last few weeks he had gotten more targets, and so I was like, oh well, I'll just pick him. What the fuck,
But that's Jacksonville, right?
That's Jacksonville receiver.
I don't know anybody else on New Orleans that I pick up. I don't think there's anybody on Tennessee that I'd pick up right now.
Jacksonville yet?
But
I skipped ahead of game.
Deontay Harris, I mean, he's been better for them for sure. So I would consider it. I would consider
And as
it.
long as Kamara's out, you can probably start Ingram.
Exactly, yeah. But that was a good game. Jacksonville, speaking of.
I jumped
look
ahead
at
of
that.
game.
He saw into the future. Jacksonville at Indianapolis. This actually was a pretty close game.
Again, I got this one right because of my formula.
Well, I mean, 10.5 was way too big of a number. I should have known, if we're talking about for the spread here, that they were not going to cover that 10.5.
Indy's been fucking rolling people though.
Indy has been rolling people.
That's where I was. That's my. I wanted to take Indy,
but then that's what should have told me that even though they've been kicking, like we should know that New England will now probably not. There'll be like a close ass game with Atlanta, or
it shouldn't be.
Buffalo will have like a super close game because they've been beating the shit out of teams. But even though I said that, I didn't do that at all.
Oh my god, Miami's playing the.
Indianapolis though, they're a good team.
They are a good team.
Their defense is good. They know what they are. They're a Jonathan Taylor team,
and he's running really
good.
Well. He's definitely the top player.
Is he top 5 next year? I was thinking about that.
Sure, he might.
You know, top 5 next year's got to go Derrick Henry,
Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey.
Najee. Are you doing Christian McCaffrey? You can't do Christian McCaffrey anymore. Why?
Because if he stays fucking healthy, I'm just saying somebody's going to take him. I'm not taking him.
You take McCaffrey or Saquon Barkley in the top 10 next year, you're crazy. Yeah. Because
you're right.
they just live in the hurt. Najee's going to go top 5.
Derrick Henry,
Jonathan Taylor, maybe Austin Eckler,
Najee Harris. I would say Najee's probably top 3.
Yeah.
Because you gotta imagine his role's gonna expand.
It's gonna get bigger. Yeah, we've seen he's gonna win Offensive Rookie of the Year probably over Jamar Chase. It's gonna be close, but I think his because as far as a rookie for the Steelers, Najee has set most of the records already. But
everything you were saying about him was absolutely correct. He's big. He can catch the ball. He's literally out there the whole game.
He's the only one I got right. He's the only one. Najee, I'm still gonna get your name tattooed on my chest.
Pittman Jr. played well. Wentz is playing better.
Yeah.
Their offensive line is good.
Yep.
Honestly, it shouldn't have been this close, but it's a divisional game. Jacksonville should be getting better. Yeah.
And they're clearly like trying. Listen, Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback. I can't even like. There's some
eyeball test. The way he moves, he
passes.
He looks like he's an NFL quarterback.
Then you just gotta. Now Jacksonville's not good at what I'm about to say, but you got to build around him. You got to draft well.
They need to give him an offensive line. Give him some weapons.
They don't do any of this, so Jacksonville's terrible at all of that we're saying right now. But
or
good
just
luck.
Don't get him killed so he can go fucking sign with a good team in a few years.
Yeah, I don't know. Jacksonville's still got a ways to go, but this was a better game for them. Even with the loss, I thought they played better.
Yeah.
But Indy looks good. They just have an uphill battle though because Tennessee won't lose.
Yeah, and they're already what 3 games back.
I don't think you're going to win the division, but they could sneak in. They definitely could sneak in.
3 games back, and they lost already to Tennessee at least once.
Yeah,
right.
So they're behind the 8 ball for sure. They're going to have to be a wild card team, I would imagine. Although in the AFC, very possible. Yeah. Very possible. Nobody crazy that I would pick up here.
I don't think there's anybody. Maybe Agnew if you really want to, if he's still out there.
Yeah. But I think didn't they have another receiver sit out for Jacksonville this week? But the Jacksonville receivers are so up. Yeah. It's hard. It's hard. You'd be scared to do it.
Admittedly, I've been disinterested these last few weeks.
Well, I mean, football has been so weird, and
I've been distracted. I think I just. Other shit on my mind.
Well, and it's not. I think the funny thing is, like, they're picking on me at work this week about fantasy football, and it sucks or whatever. But I mean, it doesn't matter, I want you to be a fantasy legend, and I'm glad you're here. But it's just for fun.
We're hitting this part of the season where that's the drag. I gotta find my fire again.
Listen,
I gotta get back to watching my
other
film.
People play. We're talking about luck. We're talking about were you lucky this week in that another human being showed up and balled out? Like
I will. I gotta give some fucking shout out and credit to all these people that do this for a living and because it's not easy
watching football every week.
It's
keeping up with it.
Grind.
Yeah, it is.
You literally have to.
If you think about
all
how much Skip and them watch, how much sports they watch, and they have to
be able to speak about it.
Yeah, it's
remember it. And
it's a grind.
Oh
it is a grind.
God.
I mean, and they go in there every day.
Yeah,
they have a 9 to 5. That's their 9 to.
You're only doing 2 a week.
Where we're talking about football is kind of a just like, oh yeah, this is what happened. This is what happened. Yeah, I'm with you.
And then predict it. And put your balls on the table and shit like that. Man, it's
impressive. It's impressive.
It really is, because you get them wrong a lot too, and that's very to what you're going through this season is you're talking about shit and you're doing it.
Max Kellerman is on a loop of him talking about he's gonna fall off a cliff. He's gonna fall off a cliff,
right.
because he's doing what you said.
Right.
This is what he thought was gonna happen.
And he's
putting
making
his balls out there.
Right.
But he was wrong.
But it's an educated guess.
Sure.
There's reasons behind it.
Yeah.
But you're trying to predict the future. And when you're trying to predict the future, you're gonna get shit wrong.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's hard. It's kind of crushing. Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, I think in this weekend, as far as fantasy football goes, I didn't turn my phone on. I didn't pull up the app one time. I watched the red zone pretty much from beginning to end. I took a nap a little bit in the middle of it, but I was before my nap. Don't judge me. I nap. And before that, I was interested in just watching football, and
it felt good. That's one of the reasons why I didn't want to fucking play fantasy.
When you're a kid and you're watching football, it was just fun to see ooh, that was a nice hit, or oh, that was a great catch. And I think that's what I had a little bit this weekend. It was good. I didn't really care that. I mean, I got none of these picks right. My fantasy football was trash, so it was like, fuck it, let's just watch some football. And one of the games that I was for sure wrong, definitely what you're talking about, making educated guesses. I picked Cleveland over New England. Boy, was I wrong. Holy fuck.
This is the first one I got wrong.
It's time for me to accept the fact that the New England Patriots are good without Tom Brady, and that Bill Belichick is a good coach.
He's a great coach. He might be. I mean,
now, there's a caveat to what I'm saying right now. They're not winning a Super Bowl. The New England Patriots aren't winning a Super Bowl this year.
No. Unless Mac Jones takes another.
But that's my thing. Mac Jones looks good.
Level.
Tom Brady looked good his first couple of years, and he just had to manage it. He had to manage it, right? Yeah. But when you get to the bright lights of the playoffs, Tom Brady's the only one that I trust to have no. He's got ice in his veins when it comes to that. Even Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I can go down the Drew Brees, Peyton Manning. The playoffs is a different ball game. It gets more tight. Everything matters. I mean, Josh Allen is a great fucking Lamar Jackson. These are great fucking quarterbacks. They get to the playoffs and shit just tightens up. It's not as easy to
start pressing. Yeah, you're not as
loose. I just don't. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Mac Jones is the second coming.
Has that. Yeah,
maybe he has it. Maybe he has it. He'll be able to prove it this year because they're going to make the playoffs. They are definitely going to make the playoffs. Buffalo's still going to win the division. I still think Buffalo wins the division. It's going to be tighter than we thought, but I think Buffalo wins the division.
Buffalo might fuck around and fucking lose it.
I don't know. I
don't know. I have a hard time with Buffalo right now.
Yeah, but then they get the Jets and Miami again, so they get 2 wins there. They probably. I mean, I don't know.
They're gonna have to.
I hear you. They're
gonna have to play New England again, right? Have they played?
Yeah. I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Man, Skip would. He's in it, but how would I remember that? How am I supposed to keep that much in my brain? I think that's the other thing that's hard too. And you'll hear Skip and Shannon fucking bring up you saw earlier this year whenever they played blah blah blah. It's like, holy shit, how the fuck do you remember that? God damn. No, I've deleted all of week 1 through 9. Barely got this in my brain. Cleveland though. Listen, when I saw Nick Chubb went out, twice. And so now you're no Nick Chubb, and I don't remember who was this that Dearness Johnson ran the fuck all over. What was the team? Do you remember that he played against?
I can tell you real quick.
So, and when I saw no Nick Chubb and
Denver,
who's not that good of a team,
but they got a pretty good defense.
But not like a Bill Belichick defense. And we should have known going into this, if you're just Baker and Jarvis Landry and that's it, and you've got no other weapons. Donovan Peoples-Jones wasn't shit.
He got 22 points.
Donovan Peoples-Jones didn't.
The Ernest, he got 99 yards on 19 rushes.
Wow, that must have been a lot of garbage.
58 yards on 7 catches for 22
lot of garbage points there for Dearness, because let me tell you, every time they would cut to that New England-Cleveland game in the red zone, it was like, look at what just happened to Cleveland again. Holy shit, look what happened to Cleveland again.
So Buffalo and New England still haven't played.
Oh, wow.
But Buffalo's played Miami twice already.
Oh, wow, okay. Well, that's interesting. I would say they'll probably split. But maybe if New England can win both of those games, that would swing that for sure. Interesting. Okay, well,
for sure
that changes things. Then I don't know then. But New England is a good team. 45-7, they beat the fuck out of the Browns.
Stevenson would be a good pickup if Harris doesn't play this week.
Also put Brandon Bolden on there.
He's getting the ball
again.
What the fuck's his name? Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah,
he had another pretty good game.
They had another good game, but they really shot to the heart this week. I dropped all my Patriots.
Say Hunter Henry's out there on the waiver wire.
Hunter Henry's back out there because I dropped him.
I'm gonna go pick him up because fuck Hawkinson.
And he used to be on my team, and anybody that gets dropped off my team, they lead the league in touchdowns.
Maybe I'll get him.
James
I'm gonna do it
fucking
right
Connor,
now.
yeah.
I'm gonna do it right.
But Cleveland,
Hunter Henry,
Baker got hurt. And
did he?
More hurt on a knee injury now. So
who
is Cleveland's backup? It's Case Keenum. Case Keenum's not bad, but I smell bad for Cleveland going forward here. I think Cleveland. I don't know. I don't see it with Cleveland. I don't see them. I see them being the ones that maybe miss the playoffs. They had so many losses at the beginning of the year, and now with Baker being banged up the way he is, they're really in an uphill battle. It just doesn't seem like they'll be able to overcome it. But Kendrick Bourne's a good pickup. I mean, a lot of those Patriots they spread around a lot, so kind of iffy on who you'd want to start. But if you're feeling it. And like you said, Stevenson, depends on what running backs are starting.
If Harris doesn't start this week, Stevenson's going to be a good player.
But even the I think 2 weeks ago when Stevenson and Harris played, Stevenson still had like a good 17-point game. So it's interesting. New England's really good.
Yeah, they're scoring.
And they get Atlanta this week.
If they're putting points up like that, then there's going to be points to go around.
Atlanta's dog shit, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to see Atlanta's going to see those Patriot jerseys and have flashbacks, and they've got PTSD already from that.
Atlanta's gonna whoop their ass.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Now that we said all this, you're absolutely right. And Vegas Vegas has got New England a 6.5-point favorite, and Atlanta's gonna come out and fucking kill them. Matt
Ryan's gonna throw 4 touchdowns.
I see nothing but bad things for Cleveland, and I'm out on a lot of them.
Well, they lost their heart and soul, man.
Baker?
No, Odell.
Oh yeah, right. Shit. Yeah, right. He was a cancer that they needed out of there, but they're already
the Rams
dead.
got that cancer now.
The colon's already ruined.
You're right now. The Rams ain't winning no Super Bowl. Ain't winning no Super Bowl.
Not after last night's performance. When's
the last time that an NFL team went out and got all these star players and it worked out?
Yeah, I mean, they were bringing up like the Broncos the year that the defense was so monster. They went and got Antonio Cromartie. Who's the other big? Aqib Talib.
Oh, that's right.
And they had there was another
Harris.
And I mean, I'm sure there's been times in the past where this has happened, where you go out and you get players and you do win a Super Bowl. But I think a lot of the time you're right. I think when you make big trades like this and you go all in, a lot of the times then you end up with your dick in your hand. The Rams did this before, honestly. They went and got Jalen Ramsey and they went and picked up Nakumden Sue and they were like, we're going to fucking make a... And they did. They made it to a Super Bowl and they lost. And then they ended up behind, on their cap room and all this stuff. And
it fucks you in the long
Sean
run.
McVay is kind of a crazy... I don't hate it. I kind of like that they're aggressive like this. At least you're not Detroit or Jacksonville where you're like, but we just suck. Like, we're just a bad team.
At least they're trying.
Shit, as a Houston Texans fan, I'd rather you do that. I'd rather you do that.
At least try.
You better at least try. At least not be the bottom of the barrel.
At least be entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, how sad is it that
When's the last time you watched a Texans game that you?
I was just about to say the people that I work with, they were like, they don't have the red zone or things like that. They just watch. They have to watch the Texans game every week.
That's me.
So they were so excited because they were like,
on a bye.
oh, the Texans are on a bye. I get to watch another game. And I was like, wow, that's hilarious. I was like, you're just gonna end up having to watch the Cowgirls, but whatever. You know. I would much rather be the Rams fan that's aggressive and, oh my God, we got Odell. Oh my God, we got Von Miller. It's exciting. You know, I would rather be that. True. As a Houston Astros fan, it's what I crave in us to be in the baseball world. Go get these free agents. Go fucking sign one of these fucking arms.
Right. Well,
you know?
Especially when, I think it's okay when you have the team that you just need to add the one piece or the two pieces, right? Because you are going to give up talent. So you got to wait for those opportunities. But
honestly, if you're the Rams, wouldn't you say that is what you thought Matt Stafford was?
That's true.
For this team?
Because Matt Stafford's only he's only got a year or two, right?
And if you were if you're Sean McVay and you're like, we're good, but I don't trust this motherfucking golf, you know? And they're like, okay, well, what would you do? Is Aaron Rodgers available? No. Is Tom Brady available? No. Okay, well, is an ass woman available? It's available. Shut the fuck up.
That's a new one.
It's an ass available. Is all the asses available? I can't say any more available. Shut up. Hey, if you were ever thinking, should I get 5 dogs? Just don't.
That's a good idea.
Just don't. Don't do it. This bark too. If you're a dog owner, it's the most annoying because he's just trying to tell me, hey, I think something's outside. And even after I've said, shut the fuck up, he's still down there, and then it riles the rest of them up. God damn it. All right, that was my rant on dogs. Don't get 5
What game are we on here?
Let's go Buffalo at the Jets.
Buffalo at the Jets.
Another beatdown. Buffalo ran this game the entire time. The Jets just struggle. Mike White was throwing interceptions again.
4 interceptions. I saw a thing that he said he thinks he should have been the number 1 overall pick.
He did say that, but he was the year of Baker Mayfield, so he was saying that he thinks he's a better quarterback. I like the confidence. Didn't happen this week.
It was just funny that he said it on Thursday and comes out and throws 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, chill the fuck out, huh?
Yeah.
You do play for the New York Jets, okay? Yeah. So before you start saying these things, look around at your guys and be a little humble, because
what was the quarterback on any given Sunday?
Oh, Jamie Foxx.
What was his name? He was like, and then he was like, it's I'm the one that does that shit.
Man, what was his name?
I'm just glad him get blown up. What was his
What was his name? Look this up.
Damn it. Where's our guy?
Yeah, so Buffalo was fucking really good. If Gabriel Davis is out there in the waiver wire, it's an interesting one.
Is he a receiver?
Yeah, he's a receiver, and he had a touchdown for sure. I don't know what
Didn't Dawson Knox play?
Yeah, he had 1 catch. 1 fucking catch, and I started him. 2 points. That's how you lose in fantasy football. You don't lose from Najee Harris getting you that consistent 20. You lose from motherfuckers like that getting you 1 or 2 points. That's how you lose. And starting Arizona's defense and not realizing that Carolina's a Super Bowl team. But the Jets are fucking terrible, although there is a guy, Elijah Moore. He's been getting consistent targets over the last 3 weeks. His numbers have been in the double digits each week. And even in this game where
Steamin' Willie Beeman.
Willie Beeman. That's right. That's right.
Steamin' Willie Beeman. Sorry.
Yeah, Elijah Moore is an interesting one. Again, the Jets are bad, so you're going to have this matchup next week against Miami. That's an interesting one because Miami's bad too, so maybe it'll be a high-scoring game. Maybe you'll get more out of him.
Corey Davis played.
Did he?
He did okay.
He lost a fumble, the pretty bad one that we saw that they showed on the red zone again and again. But yeah, Buffalo looked really good. This was a bad team, so this is what you're supposed to do against bad teams. Let's see if it works this week.
Yeah. Who are they playing this
Indianapolis, which is a good game.
This is a good test.
It's a good game.
If
good
Buffalo,
Here you
We'll
go.
see.
Actually,
for Indy too.
Indy too. Are you one of the top teams in the league, Buffalo? And are you going to make the playoffs, Indianapolis? This is a great
I can't believe
game.
they're 7-point favorites.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But nobody Buffalo wise. I mean, I know you went and did David Singletary, but I dropped him because he's just so inconsistent. And
I got this one wrong.
well, 13 points was a crazy spread, and I think that's why I picked the Jets, because I thought there's no way that Buffalo, who just lost to Jacksonville, is going to beat them by 13, but they for sure did. The 45-17. I can't do the math there, but I'm pretty sure 13's in there somewhere.
Yeah, 28, I think.
Yeah, Buffalo looked really good, and let's see what they can do next week. Then we go to a tie. Something that should never. You know what Najee said after the game? He said, "I didn't realize you could tie in the NFL," which is a little ignorant. Look up some shit, Najee. But
right, come on, know the rules.
Yeah, know the rules. Jesus Christ! It makes me nervous that when y'all were going to overtime, you were over there going, "Hey, is it possible we could tie this shit?" Holy shit. But I like the mentality. I mean, I guess in his head, he's like, we're going for the win, which they should have been.
So then
there were multiple times that they could have, that Pittsburgh could have fucking, well, how'd you get it right? You called a tie?
Well, I picked Pittsburgh, and they did not cover the spread.
Is that how that would work with Vegas? Yeah. Oh, that's horse shit. Everyone should lose their money on this. No. Every player on Detroit and Pittsburgh shouldn't be paid.
Detroit covered. They didn't lose by 9.
Horse shit. They didn't do anything. Though a tie is fucking terrible. They should keep going until there is.
Here's
a finish.
A weird thing that I just thought about. So I'm watching the fucking game last night. They're down 31-7. They're like 4th and goal. Like a penalty happened or something like that. And they went for it on 4th and missed it, right? And then they got the ball back down inside the red zone. Again, 4th and goal. And they kicked a fucking field goal.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me ever in those situations. They're playing some sort of game in their head where they're like, well, we gotta get on the board so that we can make this a game.
But they had literally just done it a few minutes before, and then you come right back down. Why the fuck? Because I needed a touchdown.
Well, and the first time that you went for it on 4th and goal, you understood the math of this, that we have to score because that's the only way we're going to catch up here.
And you need 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, the field goal basically at the end there was just giving up, and
it was just weird. I was like, why would you even?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Does not make any sense.
Kneel the motherfucking ball down. Who gives a shit? Anyway, sorry.
Detroit, man.
Lame. Fuck you, Hawkinson.
I feel for them though, man. They play hard. They really do. They come out. They are not. There are games.
We called this though, right? Didn't we say they're coming off a bye? They're going to have some shit for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And they did. It was a rainy game. TJ Watt likely out for the season.
That's a Watt kid thing to do.
Yeah, right? That's what I said. I was like, these Watt
real
kids.
Watty thing to do.
They're incredible, but they also...
You guys are fucking specimens, but apparently...
only for a little bit.
Not your soft tissues.
You got the Yao Ming gene. Yeah. You know? I'm just a little too big for this body, and I can't seem to keep my ligaments together.
Yeah.
But Detroit, man, I feel for them. They really try hard every week, but they just can't get it done. I think this is their week, actually, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. Pittsburgh, man, disappointing. Fuck. Pittsburgh is like.
But Mason Rudolph was playing.
I know, but I mean, how good has Ben? I mean, Ben's not even been that good.
You're right.
And this is what fucking frustrates me. They get down around the fucking red zone and they're trying to throw the ball. Your rookie running back is the best fucking rookie running back in the league. Trust this kid. Use him. Make him Derrick Henry. God damn it. Give it to Najee every time. I hate the Pittsburgh Steelers. As much as I love Najee Harris, if I'm in the position, I'm not going to do it next year because I think they're in a rebuild. I think they're in a rebuild for the first time in a long time. I think. And see, like I said on the beginning shows, I was like, Pittsburgh always finds a way because they do. In the last 10 years,
well, Tomlin's a really good coach,
and Ben Roethlisberger has kept them.
He's been a really good quarterback.
To where they could at least
see what they do in the offseason, though, because if they can add a quarterback and some offensive line, then you absolutely
with Ben Roethlisberger or Mason
if Ben's
Rudolph
there next year.
That's not a winning combination. Washington. Those guys, Ben Roethlisberger is done. This has got to be his last year. And I just, I'm kind of.
Do you imagine Deshaun Watson in Pittsburgh with Tomlin?
They win a Super Bowl
with Tom. I mean,
they win a Super Bowl.
Many of them.
You can't give Deshaun that. I'm saying that Deshaun on Miami, he might win a Super Bowl. Deshaun on Washington, he might win a Super Bowl. Because if you give him weapons, I saw Deshaun with DeAndre Hopkins and it was working. You give him somebody like Terry McLaurin or give him a good receivers. You give him receivers like Pittsburgh has. If he has Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool and fucking Freiermuth and all this shit, Najee, he's going to win a Super Bowl. That's terrifying. I hope that is not what happens. I hope they hold on to, I hope they fucking strangle Deshaun like his cock. A tie is the worst thing in the world. Play till the end.
It's like kissing your sister.
I don't care how tired these motherfuckers get.
It's gross.
I don't care how long the game is.
Ties are gross.
Who cares how long the game is?
Unless it's soccer, then it's okay.
But isn't Sunday dedicated to football anyways as far as TV goes?
Right.
Like I'm pretty sure Fox and CBS and all this
Honestly,
shit that play that.
What's wrong with college rules?
What's the college rules?
You keep getting the ball until the fucking game's over.
That's what it should be. That's what it should be.
You get the ball in the 25-yard line.
If this is a Super Bowl, are we calling this a tie? Like, the fuck out of here. I hated it. I hate the tie. Then we go to a very sad game for me this week. Tampa Bay at Washington.
This is why I hate football.
Man, so there was a lot of things from this. First of all, the first interception that he threw is not on him at all. He hits the guy in the fucking stomach. The guy turns around and the ball gets popped up in the air.
And they call it an interception?
They call it because
he never established
it and it never really stopped moving. Like from the time that he had it, it got punched. It's in the air. It wasn't a fumble. It's the craziest interception ever because it's like, how was that Tom Brady's fault? Like he threw it perfectly to the guy. Yeah. But Bruce Arians said after the game that he shouldn't have thrown it to the guy because he should have seen the position that it was in, and Tom Brady agreed with him. So it was one of those games for Tom Brady. If you watch the press conference afterwards, this is the kind of thing that gets your dick hard if you're a Tom Brady fan. He kept it short. He was mad. He was pissed. He was like, I'm going to go back. And he was like, I'm going to look at tape right now. Oh, so
poor Giants.
Yeah, you get the Giants and you get a long week.
On Monday.
And you get Monday Night Football where the lights are going to be bright. Whoo! I don't know.
I'm taking the Giants.
Yeah, okay. Well, you go for it. But I'm pretty sure Tom Brady's going to come out of this blazing. And listen, their offense is missing Gronk and Antonio Brown. They're not the same. Their defense is still trying to figure shit out. Washington got lucky on a couple of plays. The last play that really pissed me off was that Washington only needed like a first down to pretty much ice the game. And Terry McLaurin is like wide fucking open, right where he runs right to where they need a first down. He pretty much stops, and they all leave him alone. How are we not doubling this guy? Like, what the fuck is going on?
Like their number one receiver.
Yeah, this is the clear number one receiver. And Taylor Heineke came out, and you can tell it was like, I played y'all so well in the playoffs. I'm going to play y'all well now. It was a really weird week. Washington lost Chase Young for the year. He tore his ACL, so he's out for the year. And I'm not big on Washington. I don't think this was a big thing for them. I think it was Tom Brady needs losses during the year. He needs it. It's good for Tom Brady. Unlike some of these other quarterbacks where I can see a loss kind of demoralizing you and going, oh, man, I don't know if Derek Carr bounces back from this, Right. But Tom Brady will be fine. They're going to beat the fuck out of the Giants. But it was sad.
And Washington finally looked kind of like the team we thought they were going to be.
Sad game, though. Sad to watch. Really broke my heart. It's sad to watch Tom lose. I feel that day I can always feel it in my heart that he's hurting and I'm hurting, and it always makes the day a little harder. But speaking of Mr. Tom Brady, Today's the day. Today's the day where I get to slowly jerk off to Man in the Arena. It's going to be on ESPN Plus. It's going to be I don't even know. It's multiple episodes, but it is the documentary on Mr. Tom Brady. It's been a long time coming. This will be the first of many. I bet you that. I bet you that we have this one now while he's playing, and then we get another one after he plays, after he's finished. But this is going to be awesome. I also don't think that this happens while he's a Patriot. I think this is now free Tom that has a little more freedom to say more. He's going to talk about
Belichick wouldn't have liked it.
Yeah, and you've got people on this documentary like Vrabel and Bruschi that are going to give a little more insight into that Patriot way and how Tom was such a big part of that. Oh God, I'm getting horny.
Yeah, I watched the preview.
Oh man, I've
pretty cool.
got an erection right now. Don't look. But yeah, Tom's got this amazing Man in the Arena thing coming out tonight. Go watch it. Go check out my man, the American Dream. He's the American Dream. He's the American Dream.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be there. You're not the most athletic.
Yeah.
You know, you don't look like a fucking killer, but you are just the best at what you do.
Yeah, it's supermodel.
Yeah, and you got Giselle Bundchen over there playing with her pussy while you look at film. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Tom Brady will bounce back. Broke my heart, but yeah. And Washington wise, I don't know if there was anybody in this that. I mean, I know Terry McLaurin had a good game, but can't
nobody
tell you
that you're gonna and what's his name? Antonio
Gibson had a good game. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he scored 2. Yeah. In Tampa Bay, Mike Evans had a better game because I know he scored like that long touchdown. And Chris Godwin actually it was good. It was like 17, 19 points, somewhere in there, which was solid. But they're missing a lot right now. And I think when Gronk comes back and Antonio Brown comes back, you might see fantasy-wise, you might see those numbers go down. But I guarantee you, Tampa Bay, when they get that full offense back, they're going to start kicking some dicks in the dirt. Go Tom Brady. Carolina at Arizona. This was another game where it's like, okay, so
Murray didn't play, Hopkins didn't play.
Sure, but you would still think that in this game where Colt McCoy was serviceable last week and he got you a win.
And why are they giving up 34 points to Carolina?
I mean, it wasn't, honestly.
Carolina that doesn't have a fucking starting quarterback. Right.
It wasn't even close. Carolina beat the fuck out of Arizona the whole time. The 10 points, I think they scored a touchdown later in like the third or the fourth quarter. But Carolina also had a big news this week where they brought Cam back. He scored on his very first play. I think he probably going forward is their starter. It's an interesting thing because when they let Cam go, it was because he couldn't throw, and he still probably can't. But on this team that has become more of a running team, it's almost like, maybe this is a good match. Like,
well, and he was throwing it to Robbie Anderson apparently.
Yeah, he was.
Or maybe it was PJ Walker.
No, PJ Walker's the one that threw to Robbie Anderson, but he threw more to Robbie Anderson this game. Cam threw the short touchdown to Robbie Anderson. So it was a much better game for Robbie Anderson just because it was like, oh my God, people are throwing
They're going to throw him the ball.
They don't know that it's only DJ Moore on this team. But Carolina came out and they looked like the team earlier they were this year. Their defense looked good. They were smacking Arizona in the mouth. They really made Arizona look like a bad team, which they're not. 10 points was a pretty high number. I should have kind of known that was kind of a crazy number, but it didn't matter. Carolina outright beat the fuck out of them. You know what blew my mind though? So he scores the rushing touchdown, takes his helmet off, and he's like, "I'm back." Did you see that? Where he's like, "I'm back." So he gets the penalty obviously for taking his helmet off, but he opens his mouth and screams, "I'm back," and he's got fucking gum in his mouth. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck you have gum in your mouth in a fucking NFL game? Like, aren't you're gonna swallow it or fucking?
It's gotta be hard to call out signals.
Yeah, there's all kinds of questions. Do you have a mouthpiece in? Like, I'm so confused. That blew my mind. I was like, you have gum in your mouth? What the fuck is going on? But yeah, Cam going forward should be their starter.
Yeah,
I'm not crazy about it. Yeah, I'm not picking Cam up. But
honestly, I think it downgrade. Well, who knows?
Who fucking knows? Sam Darnold might be out for the year, so they might might ride out with him.
He can dump that shit off to McCaffrey just like Darnold did.
But McCaffrey went out again.
Oh, was he out?
Yeah, he got hurt again.
So don't drop Chubb.
He went to, don't drop Chubb because McCaffrey went out again. So he went to the medical tent again. Oh, Christian McCaffrey going to the medical tent. That should be his fucking name. But yeah, Carolina, they beat the fuck out of Arizona. And Arizona, I don't know. I don't know if this was just a week where, they were being safe and they didn't play DeAndre and they didn't play Kyler. So that's why they kind of didn't look as good. If they bring both those guys back, obviously I think they look better. But it was it made me go, there's hope for Tampa Bay to have a real easy road. I mean, Green Bay might be Tampa Bay's toughest matchup again, which they were their toughest matchup last year. So we'll see. Arizona, though, I don't know if there's anybody I'd pick up. Really well. I don't think there's anybody I'd pick up for Carolina either, other than the obvious that you already have. But yeah, 34-10. Who the fuck did you call that one? Yep. Because you went against what your brain said, and
honestly,
that's what
I went
happened.
through them all. If I went 13-5, going against what I think.
Holy shit! Holy fuck! Oh my god! Okay, well that's the way to go.
We got a formula, folks.
Yeah, you know what to do for tomorrow. So Minnesota at the Chargers. This was a weird game.
Minnesota finally won a game.
They finally won a game. They looked good. They were Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook looked a lot better in this game.
Justin
he scored.
Jefferson had a good game.
Again, Justin Jefferson. Adam Thielen scored. The Chargers, man, they started off looking really good. They started off where I was like, this is a team that's going to make the playoffs. They look solid. And now, I don't know. I'm breaking up with Bay Bear. I thought this was going to be Herbert's year to be Josh Allen.
Take the next step.
Like rushing touchdowns.
Well, he's not running.
He's not running the ball. So as far as fantasy football goes, I was totally wrong about him. He is not a top tier quarterback. I didn't draft him in a top. I think I drafted him like 8th or 7th where you're supposed to. But if you were thinking about putting him in that class of Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, it's not. It's not at all.
No.
He's not in that group at all. Kyler Murray is.
Yeah, Kyler took the next step.
Kyler's in that group. I'm trying to think about if there's anybody else.
Well, Jalen Hurts might be in there.
Jalen Hurts might be. You're absolutely right.
He's stayed there the whole
and he's
time.
Running. And he's rushing. And he's got the rushing touchdowns. You might be right. Dak. I think Dak has proven himself to be a legit quarterback. Yeah. So, and proved me wrong and it was mostly because I hate the Cowgirls. But yeah. But it was a good game. Minnesota Chargers. Nobody really on either side that I would think about picking up. But yeah, good game. And it definitely, I picked the Chargers just because I was feeling like I need to give it to Herbert and I need to believe in him. But I'm out. Until they show me otherwise. They don't seem to know how to close games, and I'm not big on the Chargers. I'm not feeling it. Not feeling it on the Chargers. Fuck you. Other than Austin Eckler, I think Austin Eckler still had another good game, and he's been legit all year. He's a top 5 pick next year. Austin Eckler.
Yeah, and he's always been good if he can stay healthy.
I think in most leagues he probably went top 10, but I'm saying I think he takes Christian McCaffrey's spot. He takes Saquon Barkley and some of these guys that we've been doing in the top 5.
He should.
But yeah. So then we go to Philly at Denver.
So Denver can beat the shit out of the Cowboys.
They can beat the fuck out of the Cowboys.
But then at home, they can't beat Philly. And
13 points there is not indicative of what the score was. Philly beat the fuck out of them this entire game. There was a lot of blowouts this week.
I sat Cortland Sutton and played Hunter Renfrow, and that was
the right thing to do. That was the right thing to do. And Devontae Smith, is it? He had a great game. And Jalen Hurts again proving himself as a fantasy quarterback.
Yeah, he had 20-something.
Yeah, it's time to start him. It's time to sit him. It's time to put him in there and just start him.
I was actually contemplating seeing if I could trade Josh Allen for a good piece and then just play Jalen Hurts.
That's a good idea.
But nobody really needs a quarterback.
Nobody's trading either.
Because when I go look at stuff and I'm like, okay, well, who really would want Josh Allen? And it would be like, would you trade Aaron Rodgers for Josh Allen and give up a big piece? Probably not.
Probably not.
You're not going to trade Patrick Mahomes for Josh. It just didn't.
Yeah.
Didn't see anybody that really needed him. So I'm like,
the Turkish guy. he's Russell Wilson and like Carson Wentz. So that might be it's an interesting one. He might be interested in that. You could maybe steal somebody off of his team too because he's got a lot. Anyways, just so Philly beat the fuck out of them. Nobody else that I would pick up on either side. There was nobody that really stood out. Nobody that I saw, at least.
What about Philly's running backs? Who took control of that?
Well, Boston Scott had another bad game, and apparently Miles Sanders might be back soon.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't think it matters. And Kenneth, this was all receivers on the Philly side. Like Rieger had an okay game, and Devontae Smith had a monster game. I think Devontae Smith had like almost 28 points. So, big game out of Philly. They came in and absolutely dominated Denver. I got that one right. If you look at this board, it is very sad because there's check marks at the beginning, and then there's a big blank spot where I got them all wrong. But I got this one right with Philly and Denver.
That's your one lone.
That was it. That was the lone one that I got right.
If you hadn't got that one right, that'd be a big
man, it would have been
spot.
like, fuck. My bookie would have been calling me for sure. Go to mybookie.com. Brought to you by mybookie.com. Seattle then went to Green Bay, and this was surprising. Russell Wilson played.
Didn't look very good, I heard.
Well, I mean, he's been out, you know.
Yeah,
he hasn't played.
Finger.
His finger's fucked up. Green Bay's been killing it, so they're not in that we're rusty.
And Green Bay, we said it a couple weeks ago. Their defense is playing.
Defense is good.
Yeah.
Defense is good. And as far as Green Bay goes, I mean, this is the formula that they've had the last couple of years, and I think they'll probably be the 1 seed again. They'll be close to the 1 seed again with Arizona, and Tampa Bay will go and beat them again because Aaron Rodgers' butthole will pucker, and yeah. But no, Green Bay, I guess I should give them some credit here. They beat the fuck out of Seattle.
What's his name got hurt? Aaron Jones.
Oh, that's right. Out for it was only 1 to 2 weeks. They thought it was going to be worse at the beginning.
But AJ Dillon's probably rostered already.
Yeah, he's probably already picked up, and he should be. He's a really good pickup. That was a great signing, a great draft pick, and they were mad about it. And it was one of the things that they said Aaron Rodgers got upset about was that you didn't give him another receiver, you got him a running back, and it's like actually. This is really helping your game because Aaron Jones has proven himself as not being durable to be a every down back. So now that you have this AJ Dillon guy, they've been a lot better.
He does need another receiver though.
He does. You're right, and it's why I thought Odell was going to go there. But Seattle, man. We at the originally said, that all of the NFC West was going to be in this.
Yeah.
But I think if and I'll go back and look, but I think I put Seattle at the bottom, and I think I might be right about that. I think that might be the one area I was right on this whole thing because Seattle, man, they don't have enough pieces. And it's weird to say that when you have DK Metcalf and you have fucking Tyler Lockett and Russell Wilson, but it just seems like they lack in everywhere else. Their offensive line isn't very good. Russell's running for his life. Their defense isn't very good. They've got one guy, Bobby Wagner and Jamal Adams. But other than that, I really couldn't tell you anybody else on, So I know Seattle's a Super Bowl winning team, and I think they'll retool and refix this, but this year is not it. They are definitely not a very good team.
They have a good quarterback, so as long as they can build, they have
you still got your guy. You still got Seattle. Yeah. You got your guy, yeah, for sure. But 17-0, Green Bay took care of business. Like he said, AJ Dillon is probably picked up in most leagues, but if he's out there, for sure go get him while Aaron Jones is out. Then we go to the Sunday night game, which was where I said I have never been more out of fantasy football in my life. The gentleman I am playing has Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. So the minute that it got out of hand, I went, "Oh, okay, fuck my life." And this was a slow burn. Kansas City took a little second to get going, and then once they did, it was like, oh, and now they're pouring it on. And I picked Vegas in this because Kansas City has looked bad. But they looked like the old Kansas City in this game. They were scoring at will at one point, especially towards the end of the game. They walked down the field, I think, 3 times in a row. And Vegas, man, they've been showing a lot of heart after losing Gruden and,
catching up to him finally.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, this was also a tough matchup. Kansas City is a good team, so this was a tough matchup. I'm not totally out on Vegas going forward. I think they still have a chance to sneak into the playoffs, especially in that weird division where everybody's got wins. They're all kind of right there with each other, so I'm not out on them, but this was a tough loss for him for sure. Josh Jacobs was average. Hunter Renfrow was pretty much the shining light of that team.
He's been getting better and better.
They know you want to go Darren Waller, and that's what I was saying earlier in this year. He had that monster first couple of weeks, but then it was like teams went, oh, okay. Like, if this is what you're going to do, we're just going to put a man over the top of him, and we're going to stop you on this. So, Kansas City looked a lot better. I don't know if there's anybody out there that McCole Hardman's probably out there, but you can't trust in that. They're basically the 3-man show of Mahomes, Kelsey, and
Williams had a really good game.
Did he? They score with him in the red zone.
So did CEH play?
No. Still hanging out my IR. Still in the IR.
That's why.
The entire year.
Because I dropped Williams. I thought CEH was coming back, and Williams was one of the guys that I dropped.
I might as well just fucking drop him. Who gives a fuck? Maybe he'll give somebody else good luck, because that's what happens. I'll drop him out there, and then he'll lead the league in touchdowns. But Kansas City, going forward, I think you got to feel better about, if you're a Kansas City fan, you got to go.
Yeah, it definitely has to boost your hopes, especially because Vegas doesn't have a terrible defense.
Yeah,
so
true.
I mean, maybe you found something.
Maybe. But nobody on the Raiders either, because they really didn't look great. But there's nobody else out there that I think is out there on the waiver wire for you. So you're probably not doing anything else there. Then we go to the Rams at San Francisco. Last night's game. Man. San Francisco was leading the entire time. I was at work, but every time I looked up, it was like, okay. And San Francisco's got another defensive play.
I know the field goal was like a last-second field goal, so they only scored 7 points.
Yeah, which didn't make much sense, did it? And Odell and Von Miller, apparently, I saw Von Miller out there playing, but they had both of their new guys out there, and it did not matter. Nope. San Francisco's a weird fucking team, aren't they? They really they lose the bad teams and they win against good teams. They don't make a lot of sense.
And watching their defense play last night, they looked really good.
Yeah, how are you not a better team? Like, I don't. Yeah, I don't get San Francisco, but they absolutely stomped out the Rams last night and kind of made me and I think the rest of the world go like what you're saying. Are they winning a Super Bowl? I don't think so. Not like that. They're not. Not like that. They're not. So very interesting game last night.
I don't know if their offensive line.
Robert Woods tore his ACL on Friday because he heard he was on he heard me talking about him so much, and he was like, "Fuck it, Sean McVay's a racist, anyways." And then he just went out.
Like, you ain't got Odell. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, fuck you guys. I'm fucking done with this. Throw it to that black guy. Yeah, damn it.
Fuck him.
KKK members. But then Higbee had an okay game, and it's still
Stafford
the Cooper Kupp. Yeah, but I mean, Cooper Kupp still had an okay game because
that's who he wants to throw.
Because that's who he fucking throws to. So Deebo Samuel had a great game on the other side.
This, though, Cooper's always fucking open.
What the fuck? How the fuck do you not know this playing the Rams? How?
He's always.
It infuriates me.
He's always open. And so maybe he's a really good route runner.
He's really good. He's really good. And I had him last year, and I spoke about Cooper Kupp this way. I was like, man, he's really good. But Robert fucking Woods got so many
he was one of the guys I wanted. Like, I wanted Derrick Henry because I liked watching him play. I wanted Cooper Kupp because I just liked watching him play. Like, I wanted to get guys that I wanted to root for, and for whatever reason I didn't take him.
Yeah, but that was last week. I think we got most of who did I leave? Oh, Deshaun Jackson. He's an interesting one. He had an okay game, and with Robert Woods going out, we'll see if it's going to be Odell or Deshaun Jackson.
But Deshaun Jackson. Did they re-sign him? Deshaun Jackson doesn't play for the Rams anymore.
No, I'm sorry. That's for the Raiders. I'm sorry. That's for the. He got signed by the Raiders.
He replaced
Ruggs on the Raiders, and he had an okay game.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry. He was.
You confused me.
It was confusing because we were just talking about the Rams. But
Deshaun Jackson's Deshaun Jackson. I mean, they weren't throwing it to fucking Ruggs either. So is it Deshaun Jackson can get open?
You could end up in some games though with the Raiders where maybe you're up by a lot.
Definitely be a what the fuck flex. Like.
Yep.
Because you wouldn't be surprised if he scored 20 points, but it would be a pretty desperate flex.
Raiders Deshaun Jackson over picking up Odell Rams because I just don't know if Odell has it anymore.
Well, nobody dropped Odell. I mean,
yeah, but very interesting. Oh, and another guy that's out there in our waiver wire, I doubt he's out there in yours, but it's interesting that he's out there, is Tyler Boyd. Somebody must have just got frustrated with him and cut him.
I saw that somebody dropped, and so is Allen Robinson.
Yeah, that I don't like. I'm not into Allen Robinson. I don't like it either. I'm not into Allen Robinson. I'm not into any Bears, but the Tyler Boyd one, I put a question mark by it because I don't know, but it's interesting. Obviously, Jamar Chase is a big part of that, and the Higgins, they like to go Higgins, and they like to go.
I don't need a receiver bad enough to want Tyler Boyd.
Yeah. I might scoop him up just to fuck up everybody else's game.
I'm not going to drop AJ Green to pick up Tyler Boyd. I might.
I can cut whoever the fuck I want off my team. It don't matter. So, I'll just drop Najee. No, I'm just kidding. Najee's going to die with me. Let's see. So that was it. That was it for last week. As far as defenses going forward this week, if you're looking for some streaming defenses, Tennessee is playing at home against Houston. They're out there in some leagues as far as defenses go, and I think that might be a beatdown. I think they're definitely going to get some turnovers because Houston's just not very good. Miami's defense is at the Jets, and if Mike White continues this behavior, I'm not saying it's that. I mean, Miami might not even win this game, but you might get some turnovers from Miami from Mike White, the number one pick. And Carolina's defense, I don't know if they're out there. I'm sure they're not. In ours, they're not. But Carolina's defense has Washington, and it's one of the ones that I feel maybe Carolina's riding high. Maybe they come in there and play. I mean, they beat the fuck out of Arizona, and their defense was a part of it too. So that one's a iffy one.
So yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
Washington's gonna drop 35 on them.
Yeah. Do the opposite of what I say. That's what we've already established. So, but. That was all the waiver wire ones that I had. I don't know if you know of any other ones that are out there.
Nope.
I mean,
Stevenson is out there on ours.
Yeah.
And again, he's probably somebody that should be rostered for sure. And
well,
especially with
Alexander drafted him in the 5th round, which is amazing. Yeah. It's a really high place to take him. And then he dropped him because I gave him so much shit about him. Because he really didn't play well for the first part of this season. It was Damian Harris and it was other guys. It was James White when he was there earlier. So
I don't really think I need him.
Again, I might go pick him up just to fuck. Hey! This is probably a good note to go out on. We'll love you. We'll see you tomorrow. They need to get there. Shut